Hello and welcome back to RoboFreaks. Today's video is for all those people who love playing racing games and dream of making one by themselves someday. Well, the wait is over, as in this tutorial we will be learning how to make a car racing game in Scratch. But before that, to all those who are new to RoboFreaks, please subscribe to our channel for more such amazing game development tutorials. Let us quickly look at a demo of what we will be making. We have a race track and an F1 car to run on this track. We have to complete 4 laps of this whole race course before the time runs out. The car can be controlled using the arrow keys and we have to try and keep the car on the track, else it slows down. See, oops, I lost. It's hard to win the game, but I assure you the code is much simpler. Let's dive right in. I will start by naming the game as Formula Race. Now to make the process easier, I have already made the background and a car sprite. And we will download it from the description below and upload it in our game directly. If you like, you can draw your own race course too. Our game is now set up. Let's mess around with some code now. But where should we start from? Our game has 3 major parts. First is motion of the car on and off road. Second is counting the laps. And third is setting the timer. I will start with controlling the car using arrow keys. The game starts on pressing the arrow keys. In a forever loop, I will check which arrow key is pressed. Up and down arrow keys are used to move the car forward and backward, while left and right arrow keys are used to turn the car clockwise and anti-clockwise. Let's see if this works. Great, that looks good, but I want the car to slow down when it is off the track. What I will do is create another variable named speed, which will decide the speed of car. I will create another block which will run parallel with motion blocks. Set the speed to 5 here and we will continuously check if car is touching the road or not. Keep the speed as 5 if it's on the road, else decrease it to 1. Now over here, we simply add the speed variable we created. For going backward, just multiply it by -1. Set the position of car on the start line when flag is clicked. And run the code. This could not be any simpler. Our logic works fine. The car's motion is done. Now let's see how we will count the completed laps. For this, I will create another variable called laps and set it to 0 initially. You might have noticed these red and blue lines on the track. We will use this for implementing counting logic. How, you ask? I will explain. Our car starts from the red line. To check if one whole lap is completed, I will first make sure that at least half of the lap is completed. And if that's done, then check if the car has taken a full round or not. Hopefully you understand the logic. I will show you how we implement this in code. I will create another variable called lap flag. This will be 0 initially, indicating that the car is at starting position. Now, when our car touches the blue line, I will update this variable to 1, indicating that car completed half the lap. Now when the car arrives at red line again, I will check if it came from middle point or not by checking the lap flag's value. If it is 1, means the car indeed came from the center of the track. And we will update the laps variable by 1. Don't forget to reset the lap flag variable for the next lap. Run the code to verify our awesome logic. See, that worked nicely and no one can cheat now. We have completed 2 major parts of the game. Now all that's left is setting a lap timer. This timer will be used to see if all the laps are completed in the set time or not. I will create another block which will run in parallel with these blocks. We will be needing another variable for measuring time. Let's keep the time as 10 seconds for now. We create a loop which will run until time is greater than 0. And in this loop, keep decreasing the value of time by an scratch timer block, which tells us for how much time the code has been running. Once the time becomes less than 0, we set it to 0 again. Run the code. Observe the value of time, it is decreasing and it stops at 0. Well, our timer is working now. To decide whether a player won or lost, we will see if all the laps were completed within the allotted time. Remove this forever block and replace it with a repeat until block. We will keep looping until either the time becomes 0 or we have completed all the laps. For our game, let's keep the laps as 3 and time to be 30 seconds. When this loop finishes, we should check if all 3 laps are completed or not. If the player is successful, we will display a winning message. And if player fails, we will display a game over and stop everything. I have already created 2 different backgrounds for winning and losing. See. Switch the costume to won or lost depending on what happened. I will also add a cheering sound if the player wins. Don't forget to switch the costume to normal track when the game starts. Looks like our game is ready. Let's verify. Cool, I won. That was way more difficult than it looked. If you don't believe me, play this game right now on our Scratch page using the link in the description below. Challenge your friends too and let's see who breaks the scoreboard. I enjoyed making this game and I hope you did too. If you learned something cool today, hit that like button, and if you want to enjoy watching more such tutorials, hit the bell icon and subscribe to never miss an update from RoboFreaks. See you in the next video. Till then, happy learning.